He's someone who's known to spread Aashiqui through his films. I'm here with none other than Mohit Suri. Hi Mohit, welcome to Bollywood Live.
That's quite a cool introduction, I think. Thank you.
So obviously we know for a fact that you've given us so many love stories in the past, but this is the first time you're adapting one from a book. So how has the experience changed?
Well, the stories, the major thing that a director really struggles with, or filmmaker struggles with, is what story to tell. And,
correct.
That way, it's, Chetan's book was something which I read when it was a manuscript, even before it was released, and it had a story that I would like to tell. It was a love story which is not, inspired from the West and stuff like that. It had its roots in India.
Correct.
It is something that was a very Indian love story of the whole language barrier and stuff, and not some emotion that we kind of prescribed from somewhere else. So I really I really liked the fact of having something, but it is definitely a challenge to adapt something like this.
Correct.
Not for anything else, it's a book that 2 crore people have read, and they already loved.
You have to live up to that expectation. There's already an expectation set.
Yeah, but so I thank my writers a lot. Plus to get a full book into a 2-hour movie is very difficult. So what to retain, what not to retain, maintaining the emotional content right. So I give a lot of credit to my writers, my screenplay writer Tushar Hiraranani and my dialogue writer Ishita Mohita, who actually worked with me relentlessly for a year before we started the shoot to adapt this book into a film.
Right. So how much do you believe in half girlfriend, like the concept of half girlfriend?
I totally believe in it. The thing is, I've never been able to amputate someone from my life. Every ex-girlfriend, every emotional relationship I've had, I can't turn around and say that they don't mean anything to me today. How do you amputate those moments, that time that you spent with that person? They've been a part of your shaping as a character.
Correct.
So even if today, if any of my ex-girlfriends have to call me and tell me that they needed my help or they needed something from me, I would be there. I'm not saying you'll act upon it and you'll do something about it, but it's not that you can just suddenly stop loving someone totally in your life. So this half-girlfriend concept is about all those people that you shared a bond with, but today are not your official girlfriends, or they're not your, they're more than a friend, but they are less than a girlfriend or a wife or a boyfriend. So I think I totally do believe it, and I think this always existed in our world. It's just that we don't act upon it.
No one acknowledges.
Yeah, it's like even if you see some parents and you see your parents and you see somebody that they were dating and they didn't marry, they're the same person, and you see them and it's not as if they're doing anything about it, but this is something like a half girlfriend boyfriend thing that is still there with them.
Correct.
They can't just be friends.
Yeah, like when I met Shraddha recently, she had a story to tell how she had this die-hard crush on this guy, but she could never go up to him. Did you have any such?
So many, so many, man. I'm a die-hard romantic in that sense.
And Arjun had a story where the day he decided to propose is the day when she introduced. Like, did such things happen?
So many.
So many?
So many. There's not one I can really talk. In fact, it would be bad if I say that there's one person and the other ones start realizing, wasn't it me? Wasn't it me?
Oh God.
So, yeah, I used to fall in love very easily. I used to fall in love with a lot of times. So I don't deny the fact that this whole concept didn't exist. But you still have, like, I mean, you always have that one person that at that time who used to call, the one who used to pick you up, who used to drop you last, who used to want to go back home and call on the phone. Everyone's had those kind of things.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's unfair for me to even just isolate one girl.
How romantic are you? Like, obviously now that you're saying you easily fell in love.
My wife, you should ask this question too.
She was right here, I was trying. Had she been here,
it'd be great. She'll tell you what a fraud I am, because I have nothing romantic to be like.
Really? You're a total contrast to what you show in films?
I'm not. My films are. What I mean to say is the stories I tell are romantic, and I'm not a die-hard romantic in real life.
So there's no real life inspiration to it when you direct films?
There are, but it's. I mean, I live my films. I like to inhale it in a way that it can get those same impulses that I would feel. So I think the content inspires the romanticism in me. But if you ask my wife, she will completely bear the fact that I am not a romantic. I'm not about candlelight dinners. I'm not about spending quality time.
Nobody can believe that. Like the one who,
yeah, I don't.
Like I said, you spread Aashiqui through films.
Yeah, I just have a more real interpretation of love, and I think, but I think that is love. Like what I genuinely feel with Udita is that what is love? She lets me be Mohit. She lets me be the person I am. Like,
is she very romantic in that way?
No, she's a realist.
Both
of us
match,
are, but
perfect match.
I'm not a realist. I'm very passionate.
Passionate, okay.
But allow me to be this passionate is her credit completely.
Okay, so tell me why Arjun and Shraddha? Like, what made you cast them in this film? Shraddha, of course, you worked like thrice.
Yeah.
What is it that about Shraddha that attracts you towards her and to cast her in a film?
You know, Shraddha, she gives me the innocence of, like, she still works with me the same way that she used to work with me in Aashiqui. And now she's become a star and she's popular, and you know, she knows her skills and all better now. She was very raw in Aashiqui at that time. So what more can I ask for? I mean, I have an innocence of a newcomer, and I have innocence, obedience of a newcomer, but I have the qualities and skill set of a star. So that's what Shraddha Kapoor is. And besides that, Arjun, you know, see, I never cast an actor based on what his marketability is or what his image or perception is, but what I feel is how they can connect to the emotional impulses in my film. Like, for example, when I cast for villain, I cast Ritesh Deshmukh for the villain, and everyone was like, why are you casting one who's not very famous in comedy to play a villain?
Correct.
But the thing is, I you know, knowing Ritesh a bit, I knew his whole Maharashtrian value system, or how he's with his family, and I felt that was required for that character in villain. So with Arjun, you know, somehow I also had this interpretation of him that he was this, you know, spoiled filmy kid born in a big production house and didn't do anything with studies, so just decided to become an actor and got launched. So, you know, he got everything easy. But I hung out with him a couple of times, and when I met him, I started to see beyond that. I started seeing who he was and where he comes from. And the fact is, he was brought up by a single mother, and the mother who, you know, made a name for herself in a male-dominated industry on her own.
Correct.
You know, I've worked with his mom in the studio, and she's some amazing woman that she's of solid substance, you know. And then he was not good in studies, so how he said I was a fat kid, so obviously he never got any girls, so he knew the whole concept of being not having a girlfriend kind of thing, and how he lost weight, and after losing weight, how he went and auditioned for one of the biggest production houses. Didn't get launched by his own father.
Correct.
But went and auditioned in another banner and actually got launched there. And I know they have a very selective selection process. So he really played the whole thing really very with a lot of heart. So the thing is, Madhav Jha's character is, although he belongs to the royal family, he doesn't have a father. So the mother brings him up in interior Bihar, you know, on her own, puts in that value system of respecting women because a single mother brought him up. And then how he's not good at studies, so he works hard in basketball so that he can get into Stephens College, you know, which is one of the most aspirational colleges in this country. So all these things were the emotional impulses I was looking for in an actor. And you can, you know, look, styling, dialect, body language, you can all get all that, but you can't, there's no substitute for emotional experience.
Yeah, how accepting they both are on the set? Like, have there been any differences, or you say something and they're like, no, I don't want this, like that? Is there any such
I've
thing?
never had that issue with any actor I've ever worked with on the set. I've never had that. Yes, once with Adi, but that's because he's Aditya Roy Kapoor, he's stupid. But that's
during Aashiqui?
Yeah, because he didn't want to, you know, and that's one of the best scenes is when he, you know, comes into the party drunk and he creates a scene. And his point was, I love her so much, why would I ruin her day of glory? And I was like, that is what this character will do, and even that doing it will show how much you love him. But that's him being stupid, but he did it brilliantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
without being so convinced, he's done.
No, he was convinced.
Later,
I've never had that problem with any actor.
You make sure.
But it's the other way around, you know. Actually, the truth is, I'm the first person when an actor says something and I feel I'm wrong. I'm the first person says I'm wrong. I was wrong. You were right. I don't have that whole chip on my shoulder saying I'm the director and what I say is be all and end all.
That's
I think
great,
I listen to even the DOP. I listen to everyone. I do what I want, but I listen to everyone.
That's nice. How much does box office numbers affect you? Like, obviously you've seen ups and downs. It's not been a...
Yeah, the thing is, see, I know box office success is very important.
Correct.
And I know it's really important because it's the measure of success. No matter how money you generate means the more successful you are. What I think is more important is if you make a film that stays in people's hearts. And I'm not talking about critical review and stuff like that. That's in someone's head. A film like Aashiqui was not highly reviewed, but it did not do 100 crore business. But even today, when I go out somewhere, you will have somebody talking to me about how that film means a lot to them.
That's great. Music obviously has played a key role in all your films. You have a good taste in music. So, what is the secret to a hit number? Like, how do you manage to do it with every other film?
Like not using this brief of going to someone and telling them that give me a hit song. I think the day I do that is when I'll be thinking with the head and not taking a song that is emotionally right for the film. And I always try to work with one new person every film, because I think they know what is connected and what the youth and what people are talking about the music today, rather than us sitting over here in this industry and saying this music works and this doesn't. So I think one new person every time, and that actually decides the framework of the kind of songs I do.
Oh, damn nice. So I have a couple of songs from your past films. Okay. You have to rank them in an order.
Rank them?
Yeah, just like order.
Okay.
Your favorite, your pick.
First
Jiya Dhadak Dhadak. I'll just give you the list and then you say. Jiya Dhadak Dhadak, Galiya, Sun Raha Hai Na Tu, Tum Hi Ho, Barish, Hamari Adhuri Kahani.
First would be a song that you've not put in this thing called Wo Lambe Ho Baatein. It's my first hit. Zahir. My first hit, and since then it's set the benchmark of the kind of music I want to produce. Tum Hi Ho will be a second song because I think the way it captured the essence of the film, you couldn't get any better. And I'm a very situational thing. I mean, if you ask, if the title was not Aashiqui, it would have been Tum Hi Ho. Okay. The others are Jiya Dhadak Dhadak and
Sun Raha Hai Na Tu, Barish, Hamari Adhuri.
Barish. Then there would be Sun Raha Hai Na Tu, Jiya Dhadak Dhadak and Hamari.
Nice.
But actually it's unfair to judge these songs by this age. I don't know, it's like me choosing between my children. It's actually very difficult.
Your own song. And lastly, like every film of yours ends with a heartbreak, or there's no happily ever after in a love story. So will we ever get to see a happy ending in your love story?
I think this film you will. I mean, the book is out there, so it's not like I have to hide it. But
yeah, but even in the book,
it's a happily ever after in a different twist. If you see it, you'll understand that.